Hey guys, this is the Mimi Podcast, and I am Mia Redmond with,
Milesh Patel.
and today we're going to talk about our top 5 favorite anime, and then we're going to talk about what shows we'll be watching this fall.
Yeah. So for this anime podcast that we're going to do, we're generally going to have episodes that we're going to focus on different anime and also talk about like news and what we're watching kind of every episode. So that's kind of what our goal is.
Yep, that's right.
So we're going to transition into talking about our top favorite anime. So I'll let Mia start off first with her number 5.
Alright, so for my number 5, I have Bakuman. And the reason that's there is because
You're an artist.
that's a huge reason why, yeah. But, I mean, besides being that, is it not a really good anime?
Why don't you tell them what it's about first?
I mean, it's about 2 guys, high school, right? They're high school.
Yeah, they start off in high school.
And they're in high school, and they are set on trying to become manga artists, and so they try to enter a manga into Shonen Jump. And it's just basically it goes through that process, like their journey to becoming, full-fledged manga artists, basically. And it's really on this list because it honestly really inspired me, like heavily. As far because I'm an artist myself, and hey, people listening might not know. So it just I was really inspired by how hard they worked. I guess it felt realistic. Like I know it's just an anime, but I could see that probably the writers they probably basing this off of their experience, and I can imagine that they really did have to work this hard to get their work out there. And it kind of inspired me to keep working on, my art and things like that. And I do want to eventually make a graphic novel, but it's just really good inspiration. And I just love the story so much. It's just such a good story, period.
Yeah,
it's
good. I actually, funnily enough, I actually have never watched it. I read the manga for it because I thought it'd be more appropriate reading a manga about making manga.
Yeah.
So I read all of it, and I also really liked it because it is this cool, like, you're seeing the process of like getting into like a manga serialization, like having to worry about like where's my manga ranking and like how it's selling and everything. It was really cool, like seeing through the exact details, kind of like inside baseball of like the manga industry.
Right. It was really cool. Like I learned so much watching that about the manga industry. Yeah. And, I already knew it was tough, but it's like, oh yeah, this is really tough, Yeah. And it's also crazy. It's also a little bit upsetting to know how young they are being able to be this successful. I'm like, dang, I wish I was that gifted when I was younger, but whatever, it's okay.
You just have to believe in yourself, Mia.
Yeah, I know. It's just like, yeah, me and like many artists, they go through this, they have trouble to like just keep going. A lot of artists just stop. Like, almost, there's so many people that are into anime, and they're like, oh yeah, I used to draw when I was little, but they just stopped, right? Yeah. It's like, my struggle was trying to keep that going and not lose motivation to keep it going, and I'm just like, I'm going to keep improving. Like, the dude, I don't remember their names, unfortunately.
I don't either.
But the main guy, it's so hard to remember. The main guy, he just sat there in that room that he got from his, like, uncle, and he just sat there and was practicing drawing every single day after school. And I was like, that is nice to just dedicate all your time to trying to improve your talent. So anyway, it's just a good watch. Everybody should watch it. 10 out of 10 recommend.
Yeah, I think that's how everything on our list will be. A 10 out of 10 would recommend.
I mean, arguable. My list is based off of like pure, like, what did I enjoy the most versus like what I think is actually the best.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't necessarily. I'm not gonna preach about my list thinking it's like, oh, this is the best anime ever.
Is it? Man, you could.
But they're pretty good.
Okay.
They're still pretty good.
So for now, my number 5, I have Fate Zero.
Ooh.
I've always enjoyed the Fate series, and it's been one of my favorite anime stuff to just go back to every now and then. And that's like a history major. I love the whole aspect of mages summoning historical figures to basically fight a war for them. It's pretty much a big battle royale where you have 7 different classes that get summoned by these mages, and they fight for the Holy Grail, which will grant you any wish if you win it. But you have to win it by killing all the other servants that are participating in the game. And the reason I liked Fate Zero so much was I really enjoy kind of. I watched Fate Stay Night first, which is a prequel, which is the sequel to Fate Zero, but it came out first in like the visual novel format and everything. And I liked Fate Stay Night because it was pretty cool. But then I really hated the main character Shiro so much. I just despised him and everything he stood for. And it kind of, when you hate the main character that much, it like dampens your liking for the show overall, like the anime. So I still enjoyed Fate Stay Night, especially like Unlimited Blade Works and some of the later stuff. But I just hated Shiro. So when it came to Fate Zero, they kind of solved all the problems I had with Fate Stay Night, where instead of having mostly high school participants like you did in Fate Stay Night, you had much more adult mages in Fate Zero. You had like a serial killer. You just had some really interesting, fun adult characters that just made the show tonally more mature and dark, and it kind of made more sense than like Fate Stay Night, where it's like high schoolers fighting it out. And I really liked the main character Kiritsugu because he was again like the opposite of Shiro, where he was just cool, did stuff, took names, killed people. I was like, this is my dude right here. So it just has a certain tone to it. I don't think you can really capture from a lot of other shows. Also, like since UFO Table did the animation, it looks incredible to watch, and the soundtrack is great. There really isn't a whole lot else I had to say about the show, just beyond it's a really fun show to watch because it is such a technical marvel to look at, and also just has a really mature and interesting story that really kind of makes you think about your life.
Oh, that's deep.
That's what
Makes you think about your life. Yeah, I've never seen it, so I really can't say anything about it, except that I do plan on watching it. But I've heard, plenty. I will. I sure will.
All right.
Listen, I say I'm going to watch something, I will watch it.
All right.
It may be 5 years from now, but
All right.
I totally will, because I'm always picking up new stuff anyway, like old stuff, like all the time. Yeah, but I heard enough about it that I look forward to watching it.
As you should.
So, but I did watch the one Fate Zero that was like the older people, and I was so confused. I watched like one episode.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, what is going on? It was like a while ago. It was like a year ago, and I was like, I don't know what's going on. All right, I quit. But yeah, I know the order now, so I can watch it properly.
Well, what do you mean properly?
Well, there's a certain order that it came out. I want to watch the order that it came out.
The correct order, how you should watch it.
Yeah,
Because I know some people like to like.
You told me once, when to start, so I was like, okay, I'll start.
Just watch Fate Stay Night and then watch Zero.
Okay. So got that. All right, my number 4 is Kids on a Slope, which a lot of people think is boring, but whatever.
Yeah. I like how that's your reaction to your show.
Yeah, it's like that's just what I'm into.
Boring shows.
Well, to me, it's not boring. To me, it's not boring at all. I just like I really like character-driven types of shows. That's like, it's just solely about like character development and the characters' experiences and what they go through. Just enjoy watching that. And Kids on the Slope is, by Shinichiro Watanabe, and I think I saw everything that he made. I think I saw every anime at least once. Mm-hmm. And this one I probably like the most. And it might have to do with how it is one like long ongoing story, like just one single plot. Mm-hmm. That's definitely part of it. And I thought it was like a really solid plot too, and had a good start and was good all the way up into a nice finish. I like anime that can just, they wrap it up at the end nicely. But yeah, it's about there's this one guy, and he's like kind of a typical. You have this nerdy dude. Yeah. And he's like a pianist, and then he meets this rambunctious, like, uppity other guy. They're high school students.
Uppity other guy.
Yeah, he's like really uppity and rambunctious and a rebel, Yeah. And he happened to have a passion for playing drums. Mm-hmm. But what's interesting is like this main guy, he is a pianist, but like a classical pianist. Like jazz is like jazz. How do you play that? He's so uptight. Yeah. Like his family is really uptight. And this other guy, he's an orphan boy.
The classic orphan boy.
Yeah, it's really like classic, like basic kind of setup of characters.
Yeah.
But it's just really good how it was executed, and there is a little bit of like romance going on with like mostly unrequited love happening.
The classic.
It's nothing too serious, you know, they're just high school kids and stuff, but it's kind of, I feel like it's, the whole thing's kind of like a classic coming of age story, and kind of, and I just like enjoyed the characters a lot and enjoyed their relationships with each other.
That's good. I'm glad you
I like the whole childhood friends growing up doing stuff. I don't know, it's like, I don't know, I like the nostalgia feeling of it, I guess. It's interesting. Oh, and of course, a big part of it is jazz. Jazz is what brings everybody together. You know, they meet up and they, you know, the main kid and his uppity friend that he meets.
Yeah.
I can't remember their names. Such a shame.
That is a shame, man. I remember all the characters on my list.
Yeah, they like end up playing jazz together and bonding over that, because you know they were so different that it wasn't really easy for them to get along, but they kind of influenced each other.
You could see jazz as the glue that glues them together.
Yeah, and then what's cool is that there are other characters that get involved, and they also have their kind of side story. Like there's this other relationship that comes into the picture, which is this guy and this other girl that I'm not going to really talk about. You know, you have to like watch it. Yeah, it was just a lot of interesting stuff going on.
Yeah, I haven't actually watched it yet because it's been lazy.
Yeah.
But jazz is my favorite musical genre, so of course I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, it's amazing having. Oh, yeah, I will say, yeah, the animation for the jazz performances and stuff, it's amazing. It's so good. It's probably, you know, the best animation for, like, performance type.
Wow, not Your Lie in April, huh?
Yeah, it's better than Your Lie in April.
Yeah, well, I can imagine.
It's just seeing that dude play the drums is awesome.
Oh, okay.
Like when you first meet him, he has twigs, and he's just like beating them on the stairs, the railing on the stairs. Yeah.
It blew your mind.
It was awesome. Yeah, it kind of did blow my mind. I was just like, I don't know why. Like I thought it would be boring. I put this on my watch list.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, this might actually be boring. Like I might not actually like this. I was actually worried about that, but no, I was sucked in from the first episode.
That's good to hear.
And the opening song is really great too. And it takes place in like a slightly older time period. Like I don't remember which decade. Whichever decade jazz was really popular.
In Japan.
Yeah, in Japan.
Unless it used to be like in America, it's like the 1920s.
Yeah, whenever it was popular in Japan, I don't know what
maybe it's still
decade.
Popular over there. Do they like
might be,
smartphones?
but not quite like, yeah, this was definitely before like cell phones.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh okay.
Yeah, it's an older one.
Like do they have TVs?
That's actually, I think they had like record players.
Oh.
I think that's how far back this goes.
Oh. No, I actually feel like I have to watch it now because I'm like.
Oh yeah, you like him?
I'm like what? I know. I thought it was like a modern day show. That's why
I think okay, yeah, and this is like takes place when jazz was just getting introduced to Japan, like.
Oh.
Because there is like a scene where, well, I mean, it's a special type of jazz, I think, like a type of like more swing type of jazz. Yeah, there was this one scene where this guy was like, it was actually a racist white guy. He was like, get that black people music out of here, because it was like a different kind of like jazz. And I was like, whoa, this is so realistic. This is interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's all I have to say about that. What you got for number 4?
I don't have anything. I don't have to list anymore, Mia.
Oh, no? Oh, that's so sad.
Actually,
all right, so number 3.
No. Actually, I found my list somehow, and it happens.
What?
Number 4 is Hunter x Hunter, the 2011 version.
Oh.
As many people know,
As
I like shonen a lot. They're some of my favorite genres.
Oh yeah, disclaimer, I love shonen, but it's like not on this list.
Because Mia's a hater. It's fine.
Well, I got one actually.
So for my number 4, I have Hunter x Hunter, the 2011 version. And if you want to know what it's about, pretty much it follows a kid named Gon, whose mission in his life is to find his dad. His dad's actually a pretty famous hunter who ends up leaving him in the care of his like family friend. and he goes out there to basically continue being a hunter. Hunters in this world are pretty much kind of like mercenaries, where there's a hunter organization that'll give them missions, and then they can like rank up and become like higher ranked hunters. So pretty much Gon wants to find his dad. He has to go through a lot of hoops though. Like every shonen, he has to go on a journey.
Right. It wouldn't be a shonen without one.
You're right. So he ends up trying to first get his hunter license. Then from there, he gets into a lot of escapades, as you do for a shonen. And like the basic show, like the pitch for it is pretty much he's trying to find his dad, but a lot of stuff happens, and it's really good stuff that happens.
Yeah.
So my favorite thing about Hunter x Hunter is probably the villains. I really like the way the mangaka who wrote it, Yoshiro Tagashi, does his villains, because he also did Yu Yu Hakusho, which also has amazing villains. And I feel most of the time shonens, the one thing that they lack is great villains, because most of the time I feel the villains are either evil, but they're just evil just to be evil.
Yeah, just for the plot. Like, we need a bad guy. Here's this bad guy. It's
and
just bad.
They also don't really get a whole lot of development, so you don't really like. You want them to lose, but you're never like. I don't really like. You know, inherently the main character is going to be the villain in a shonen.
Yeah.
But in Hunter x Hunter, the thing I like about it, kind of like Yu Yu Hakusho as well, they really characterize these villains and give them really interesting personas and personality traits. And it's always interesting because in Hunter x Hunter, Gon is never really powerful to be like any of the villains he fights, because like he's like a little kid, and in Hunter x Hunter, like the power system is called Nen, and so he's fighting these villains that have like learned and mastered their own Nen for like years, and he is just like got his own. He's learning it, and I think it's really cool, kind of how he writes the characters and how he's able to make the show interesting while not having his main character be stupid overpowered. Because Gon, for the most part, he's never the main. There's not a point in the show where he's the most powerful person. He's always like he's always kind of like middle of the pack or like slightly below average. Because there's no way you can beat any of the actual main villains by himself, which I think is actually really interesting.
That is really interesting.
Yeah, because most shonen's like...
Yeah, almost all shonen, eventually they turn to something close to Goku, you know?
Yeah, it's like you look at part 1 Naruto, you look at he can do a shadow clone.
Yeah, you saw what happened.
And then in part 2 it's like, oh my god, it's like, well, alright.
Yeah, his Rasengan just got bigger and bigger, you know?
Yeah, and I really thought it was like in Hunter x Hunter how Gon never really... He gets strong, but he's never like... I'm a god strong.
Right.
And I thought it was really interesting just because...
That's cool.
It's just a cool way to do a shonen. And the funny thing to me... Because it's also like... Inherently, you have to have better characters and side characters that are older than him that can actually like, fight these main monsters that he's trying to beat. Because it's like... Gon himself can't do it. So he has to have friends. And his friends themselves also have good character development. So Hunter x Hunter always has like a special place in my heart. And probably has my favorite shonen villain ever. It has a really great arc. And the Chimera Ant arc is great. Raid Island is good.
Yeah.
York New City is good. Like, there's really no bad arcs in the show. And Nen itself is a really cool system of power because you can really do anything with it. And I just think it's a really well thought out shonen that I think people should watch. Especially because it's like, the problems that people have with shonen are generally like the pacing and the animation.
Yeah.
But since...
fillers and stuff.
Yeah. But like for Hunter x Hunter, since the manga came out in like the late 80s, whenever the 2011 version, they're able to like fix those issues where it's done by Madhouse, who's a great animation studio, and the pacing of it is also really good. It does get slow in Chimera Ant arc because it takes a while, but I think it's just how the arc itself is just inherently done. But overall,
it's gotta have some slow parts.
Yeah,
they're bound
Chimera
to happen,
is
right?
like really long, so it makes sense.
Yeah, unfortunately I haven't seen it,
but
it's definitely shut up. It's definitely like on my must watch. Like I have to watch this because I'm almost done with Yu Yu Hakusho. I got like 20 eps left.
Oh really?
Yeah, and I'm like, this is amazing. Like the writing is like amazing.
Shinsui.
I definitely have a lot of respect for the writer.
Yeah. Because
he does write the most realistic and interesting characters.
Yeah. Like, Shinsui is so cool.
They're all...
Okay, Mia.
He gets my nerves. Screw Shinsui. I can't stand that dude.
But that's good though, because you don't like the main villain, and you know why you don't like him.
Well, yeah.
Also, he does some.
Definitely can't stand him though. He did get like, I appreciate that there was a lot of thought put into him, but it's like I still hate him.
He also did something in Yusuke, which was pretty cool.
He did something in Yusuke. What are you referring to? Or did I not get there yet?
Well, you have to have. You finished that arc, right?
Wait.
Like, is Shinsui? He's not in the story anymore, right?
Wait. Okay, hold on. I'm thinking. Right. Okay. I was thinking of the other bad guy. Okay. So we have Toguro, and then we have I thought it was Sensui.
Yeah.
I think you're saying it wrong.
I am.
Sensui. Okay. Yeah, I hate Sensui. Like, I just can't stand looking at him.
Because he's a pretty boy?
It's not even, you call that a pretty boy? What's your definition of a pretty boy? Pretty boy's Kurama, okay?
You know that one green guy?
Kurama's gorgeous.
You know the green guy that works for him?
Yeah, he's pretty.
He's gay.
Yeah, I noticed. He was like, I want him to be my lover. And I was like, all right.
Yeah, they like confirmed like Sensui was also gay. And I was like, that's pretty cool.
What? That was crazy.
Hey, don't say that.
Oh,
That's why I didn't see it.
I should cut that out, huh?
Yeah, because when I was talking, when I was talking about Yusuke, you know what I'm talking about now? What he did to him?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I can't say that.
Right, okay. Yeah, watch Hunter x Hunter.
Yep, that's all you have to do. Alright, your next one.
It's good. Alright, I hate how, like, hipstery my list is, because I honestly like so much other stuff. It's, like, popular. It's just this stuff really sticks out.
It like calls to you.
Yeah, it just really, leave a deep impression on me. It's like, I can't forget them. So, here we have my favorite slice of life ever. It's You and Me.
Oh, Me and You?
Me and You. I said it backwards. Darn it.
I was making a dumb joke.
Oh, okay.
Because you said
I'm pretty sure it was You and Me. Okay. So yeah, the show's called You and Me, and it's a slice of life about 4, eventually 5 high school students.
What?
Yeah, what? So the characters, you got the one guy who wears the glasses.
I like that you know none of these characters. It's so funny.
I know most of these guys' names though. I
can't tell from the fact that you think of one guy all the time. I'm like Gon, Kilo.
Hold on. Yeah, I got this. So
Mia is cheating right now.
I am cheating.
She is looking up names because she cannot remember basic Japanese.
Because I definitely knew this dude's name. I just can't remember his. I know everybody else's name. For sure. I'll cut out the pause. We're good.
I'm gonna cheat.
Yeah, I am gonna cheat. I know it starts with a K, and I know the other guy's Shun, and then there's Yuta and Yuki. Those are the twins. Okay. All right. Yeah, I wanted to remember his name because Kaname, he's the smart glasses guy dude. Probably like class president. I don't remember if he is, but he's that type of character.
So basically me.
He's basically you, but cooler.
Appreciate it, you.
And then we have Yuki and Yuta. They're twins. I believe Yuki's the one that's like he's kind of a weeb or otaku. He's the otaku.
Are you telling me weebs can exist in anime?
I believe it's Yuki. Yeah, not weeb. I meant otaku. Yuki's an otaku. Yuta. They're both these twins are like the coolest guys like I've ever seen ever.
Oh, really?
They're too cool. They're so cool. Everybody likes them. And then you have Shin. He's just the really sweet guy, like super nice. He's like very maternal, like super maternal. And then later there's a student that moves there, Chizuru. He's like half German, and he like really spices things up. Like he's like this energetic character that I feel like he adds so much to the show. It's like he comes in, I think like halfway through, and it's a really good time to come in because I think you could get bored with the other 4.
Yeah.
And it's like he comes in the picture and like mixes things up, and it just gets that much more interesting.
I see.
But I really enjoy just how good friends they are. Like it's really fun to watch them. It's like
it makes sense. It's like an anime where you have like a group of 5 kids are the main characters, and then it's cool. Like
it's cool how they bounce off each other, and it's like they're already good friends. That's how it starts.
It's like free.
So you're seeing them. It's better than free though.
Oh yes, I'm just
not even that. I don't want to compare it to free.
So it's like Haikyuu.
I'd say it's more like Haikyuu.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because
it's like way more like realistic.
Yeah.
And they just like play around and stuff. Like it's genuinely funny. Like I don't know if it's meant to be that much of a comedy.
Yeah.
For me, it makes me laugh like a lot.
Yeah.
Like Kaname, they had this one episode where they're like, "Oh yeah, remember when you first got your glasses, Kaname?" And they're like, "Yeah, remember we called him Kanemegane?" It was so funny. I was like, these guys are hilarious. Like, they always bring up like past moments. They're like, "Oh yeah, remember when you had a crush on the kindergarten teacher? Ha 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 ha." Like, yeah, it's just a good time. I enjoy like every second of every episode. Like that's how much I love this show.
All right, bud.
And it has good music. It's done by a good anime studio. What was it? JC Staff. They're good. Again. Yeah. Shut up. I knew it was a good. I wanted to get it right. All right. I knew it was a good studio, but totally should check it out. I think it's a really good slice of life.
Yeah, I've actually it's been on my plan to watch list since I got into since I made my Amos account. It's been on there for a while. I've just been waiting for something I guess to happen.
Something to happen.
Yeah.
This seems I don't worry that
if you look at my list, it's like 100 shows.
That's ridiculous. My list doesn't even have that much.
I'm
very.
Okay.
Shut up. No, you need to like go through your list and like cut out stuff that you're like, this isn't really worth watching.
Yeah, Mia?
And kind of prioritize some important ones. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, all right, bud.
You're gonna overwhelm yourself like that. 100 like watch list.
The big brain strat is not to watch any of them. So then you don't have to worry about it.
Okay. Or like just watch. I like watching what people are talking about so I can talk about it with them. Oh my gosh, I hate it when people are like talking about a show and I'm like, I can't get in on a conversation. It sounds so interesting. Yes. I really want to get in on it. Yeah. It just sounds so interesting when I hear people talk about it.
Yeah.
All right. So if you don't have anything to say on it, you can go on to your number 3.
I'm so happy you let me talk. Anyway, my number 3.
Sorry.
My number 3 is Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. It's just perfect. Nothing else to say. Perfect shonen. I think most people should know what it's about. If you don't, it's about 2 alchemists.
There will still be somebody say, "Hey, is this worth watching?"
It's pretty much about this 2 alchemists who pretty much want to bring back their mom. She ends up dying due to a sickness that she ends up having. And this world, alchemy is a real thing, so they're like alchemists and all their other kind of like occupations that come along with it. And pretty much the main characters, Ed and Al, try to revive their mom, which is a taboo thing in alchemy. They end up...
Don't ever do this. Ever. Kids, don't try this at home.
Yeah. So Ed ends up losing his arm and his leg, and then Alphonse loses like his entire body. But due to Ed's smart thinking, he's able to attach Alphonse's soul into a suit of armor. And kind of from there, the show is about them trying to figure out how to get their bodies back.
Yeah.
And it leads into this adventure where they encounter some military stuff, some weird underground stuff that's happening with some evil bad guys. And overall, it's just... When people talk about FMA Brotherhood, it's just like... I don't think I've heard anyone say they don't like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've heard one person say, but it's just like
that person is.
They're like, I don't really like Ed and Al that much. I'm like, whatever, you suck. I'm like, I can understand if you're just not feeling the main characters, I guess, but honestly, you can't say really anything's wrong with that show.
Yeah, it's greatly
perfect.
Paced. Animation's beautiful. The fight scenes are great.
I disagree on the animation being beautiful.
You don't think it's pretty?
No, not at all.
You think it's ugly?
A little bit, yeah. Like I don't think it's bad, right?
Mia Redmond.
I don't think it's on the
hater.
Listen, I don't think it's on the side of bad, but it's not.
It's definitely good.
It's not, but it's not amazing.
Yeah, but it's good.
It's literally just like average a little bit, like maybe I guess like between like really good and like average. but it's like it has no special aesthetic for me, like at all.
Yeah.
It's just
I guess maybe beautiful isn't the word. It's just like it has, I think, good animation. And I like the art style because it is, at least it's unique art style.
To me, it just feels like, I don't know, stale. Maybe it's part of the age though, because it's just a little bit older.
I mean, it's only like 2009 or 10.
It is, but I don't know. There's something like stale about it, the way it looks to me.
Do you like the original look better?
I don't even know what the original looks like because I
the
didn't like it.
Around like 03, 04, so it's like the older anime art style to it.
Yeah.
It's a bit more darker looking, but interesting. I know me as a hater now. You know, that's great.
But I love the show. It's in my top 10.
All right.
It's not in this top 5, but it's in my top 10.
All right, bud.
Come on. Come on.
But yeah, I think most people would agree that it's one of the most revered anime. It's like always in the top charts for like anything.
It deserves to be there too.
It just has like, it's everything I think you would want in the story. It has a perfect ending. It's just like, what's wrong with this show? Nothing. Oh yeah, you're right. Mm-hmm. You know, that's just how FMA Brotherhood is. There really isn't a whole lot else I can really say to like entice people to watch it because I feel like most people watch it as like the starting anime, and it must be kind of sucky, but also kind of cool. You know what I mean?
Wait, what?
Like, if you know, like if the first anime you watch is FMA Brotherhood,
right?
Don't you think it's kind of sucky that you watch other shows that just won't compare to that?
Well, like, I can't say that because I didn't watch it until like last year.
Oh, yeah, because I watched it was like one of the first like couple.
Because I watched, and the reason is I watched it so late is because I started off with like the first FMA, and like I didn't like it at all. Like the first one.
You're also a hater.
I started it when I was like in middle school and I just didn't really get anywhere. And I started it again in high school. I didn't get anywhere. And then last year I was like, Brotherhood, let's go. Watched it all the way through in like a week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was like, oh, this is amazing. This is what I've been missing out on.
Yeah, so. But yeah, I don't know. It's good.
It is good.
I think it's.
I don't think it really affects how I look at other anime too much. But
yeah, I just think it's just like when you picture a shonen show, it's like this is how you want a shonen to be. Yeah,
because you can tell it was like a pre-planned plot.
Yeah.
You have all these things planned ahead, and it comes together in the end.
Yeah. I agree.
Definitely, the writer, she's definitely
I could go
excels at storytelling.
I wonder if she ever plans to make anything else. Because it must be hard, like...
Yeah, even Silver Spoon is really good. That's even also really good story. Yeah.
I like Silver Spoon.
That, like, just looking at those two works, you're like, you should be able to see, like, how good a writer she is.
Yeah. I bet she did Silver Spoon because she's like, I don't want to make another showing.
Well, she grew up on a farm, and I know that she wanted to challenge herself with a slice of life.
Yeah, and she did a good job.
Yeah, it's awesome.
All right, Mia.
Good story. I almost put it on my list. I wish it could fit in my top 10, but it couldn't fit,
I do know. I've seen over 500 anime.
You gotta know what that feels like. Jeez. It's ridiculous. So, number 2, kind of a newer one. It is called Showa Genroku Rakugo Shinju. Whoa. Bro, long title. Whoa. Or you could call it Descending Stories. I've seen that.
No one should call it Descending. Just call it Rakugo if you want to say it.
Rakugo.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like the manga, it'll say Descending Stories.
Yeah, but
anyway, this is something that left a really big impression on me. It's like, when I watched it, I was like, wow, I didn't know an anime could be like this deep and like this good a story.
Like that, like dramatic.
Yeah, it was so real too. Yeah. It was so
like
real.
You could, like, that show could just be a real life show.
Yeah, like a real life, like, I could, like film. It's like film quality, honestly, the story.
Like a film drama, yeah.
The story itself. 'Cause, it's like, it's nothing action-packed or crazy or anything.
Yeah.
But I was sitting there wanting to go to the next episode, like, after everyone. I was able to, like, binge it straight through.
So what is Rakugo?
Okay, but I'll talk about what it is. It's about this guy. Yakumo is what he's mostly called. He has a few names. I'll call him Yakumo because that's what I think is called throughout most of it. He specializes, like, he's a master Rakugo performer. Okay, yeah, performer. And Rakugo is a type of comedic Japanese storytelling.
Wasn't it like...
It's supposed to be funny, but it's also like telling a
It's
story.
like serious stories too.
Oh yeah, there are serious ones. Yeah, you're right. But it's for entertainment, basically in general. They sit down on there's a special theater they sit at. It's very, very traditional because it's an old time form of entertainment. So yeah, they just sit in front of an audience and they just perform stories. Just them by themselves. They're there. It's like a one-man show. Like they perform. So they sitting there and acting out different characters.
Yeah, they generally do like older, like traditional Japanese stories that. Yeah. So like they'll generally pretend to be like multiple characters. It's pretty much like a one-man play. Is like kind of the closest way to describe it. Yeah. So it's just one big monologue. Well, not really one big monologue, but it's like one actor acting out every character in the play.
Yeah, yeah. And I know as you see this happen in the show, they will perform for like war soldiers and stuff like that. So for entertainment for them, and in prisons. He also went to like a prison at some point. Yeah. Or like his friend did, whatever. Anyway, so it basically covers his whole journey through Rakugo, like. From whenever he picks up Rakugo and then all the way up until, really old age, all the way there.
Didn't he pick it up because wasn't he like a pianist or something? Didn't he?
No. Oh, so there is like a parallel here. It reminds me of Kids on the Slope when it comes to like, there's two main characters. Yeah. And this dude's like really uptight. Yeah. And then he meets this other guy, Sukeroku. Mm-hmm. And he's all uppity and rambunctious and stuff like that.
They're foibles.
Yeah. So Yakumo was originally like a dancer. Like I think he was raised by like I don't know if they were geishas or they were something related to that.
Yeah, because he had some injury.
Yeah, he was trying to take on a woman's profession. Yeah. Actually. But they're like, he's a boy. It's not like he can actually do this or whatever. But he he injured himself, so he wasn't able to dance anymore. Mm-hmm. And he got sent to this other dude who was like, all right, I'm going to teach you Rakugo. Yeah. And so that started his journey to be a master Rakugo performer. Yeah. But also there's this orphan boy who comes by and is like...
Another orphan boy?
Yeah, another one. He's like exceptionally, like he's talented. Yeah, so they end up competing,
Yeah, because like
they're rivals.
Yeah, because Yakumo is better at like more sensual stories.
Well, yeah, he finds that out later, though. For a long time he's frustrated.
Yeah, because he's always like solid all the stories, but he doesn't find his niche.
Yeah, he's too textbook.
He's a jack of all trades, but master of none.
I guess so. Yeah.
And then like Sukuro.
Well, then they figure out his strengths later. Though. Yeah,
and then Sukuro is really good at like comedic storytelling.
Yeah, I don't want to give away too much though. But
yeah, and then that's like the first season, and the second season follows Yakumo's apprentice that he starts teaching.
There's a lot more to it than what we said, because there's even like love triangle involved somewhere in the middle, which is a big part of the story. But you'll get to that whenever you watch it. Anyway, it's overall a good watch, and the direction is amazing, and it has really good music. That fits the time it takes place in, which is like World War, like
so the first
mid post, late post.
Yeah. So the first season is like post World War II. Second season's like modern day.
Right. Yeah. Definitely. Kind of just travels through time. Just takes you through the dude's whole entire life, literally.
And then they talk about in the second season how like since there's more forms of like entertainment for people, like Rakugo's like dying out.
Yeah, it really encompasses a lot. Mm-hmm. There's a lot in this one show, and that's one of the reasons why I like it. There's just so much, and kind of life changing to watch it a little bit. Just so many things to think about.
Yeah, like I remember watching it. Whenever I was looking at what anime to watch for the season, like this Rakugo show seems interesting, and I actually. When you read the description of it, it talks about like how there's a guy in prison and he listens to like a performance and stuff. I didn't really know what I was gonna watch going into it, and then when I watched, I was like, whoa. The first episode
you just
like,
don't know.
Yeah, because like, the first episode was like 40-ish minutes.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much like one big Rakugo performance. And so I know a lot of people when they watched the first episode, they're like, "This shit was weird," and they stopped watching it.
Probably, yeah.
But like, if
you need to give it a chance.
Yeah, because like if you stick with it, it's one of the most like, it's a really great drama.
It's fulfilling.
Yeah, like it's just again like FMA Brotherhood. It just tells like a really great, perfectly paced story.
Yeah.
And like the season 1 is great. I like season 1 a bit better. And then season 2 has a nice conclusion to the series.
Yeah, I agree. Season 1 is the best.
The season 2 finale, though, there's some stuff at the end where they did the animation. The scene I'm talking about, the cherry blossom tree.
Oh, yeah.
That was beautiful.
It's great.
So, the show is... It really surprised me. It will surprise a lot of people that watch it. But I can see, like, why people wouldn't like it. Because it is inherently kind of boring to watch.
If you're all about action, you want like really if you only watch anime for action, you're not gonna get anything out of this, I guess. Well, you could if you gave it a chance, if you feel like opening your mind to it, but
if you feel like being a better anime watcher, then watch this show.
I mean, I don't know, I don't want to like say that you're better if you like this, but it is pretty intellectual.
You're a big brain anime fan if you watch this show.
Yeah. Kind of.
You're a small brain if you only like action.
No. I don't want to. Don't diss those action people. Okay.
Someone has to.
No, it's okay if you like action. It's fine. That's all I have to say about it, though.
Yeah, I agree.
There's just so much to say about it.
But honestly, like I thought about putting it on my top 10 list too. I did look at my top 10 list again. I watched 500 anime.
Yeah, that's a lot to go through. That's insane, dude.
Yeah, because I actually think Zero is still like kind of debatable for my fifth, but I feel like my 1 through 4 is pretty good. My 1 through 3, I know will never change probably.
All right, go ahead and go on to your number 2.
It is the classic Prince of Tennis.
Ooh.
So I grew up in like America. So I had Toonami growing up as a kid, and that's when I started watching Prince of Tennis and being like, did that guy just switch his hands? I was like, what?
Ooh, how old were you?
I was like in middle school or whatever. Like,
oh yeah, it was on then.
Yeah, it was like.
I remember it being on, but I can't remember it being like. Does it middle school?
It was like 5th or 4th grade. It probably wasn't middle school.
Yeah, I feel like it was like elementary school.
Yeah, it was elementary.
Anyway.
But like, I remember my mind being blown by that. And then whenever I got into anime, so I've always kind of been into anime. Like, growing up, watching like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, all that stuff. And then I got into my Naruto Toonami phase. And then afterwards, I started watching the big 3. So like, I watched Bleach and One Piece. And then kind of from there, after watching those 3 shows, I wanted to rewatch Prince of Tennis because I remember watching it as a kid and really liking it. And when I watched it again, I was like, oh my gosh, this show is so fun. Prince of Tennis is a pretty like standard sports anime. It doesn't really do anything that like breaks new ground or anything like that. But is this a really fun show about the Seigaku team, the tennis team, and basically their journey to becoming like trying to become the champs of it. And probably one thing I really like about it is like Ryoma is like my favorite main character like in any anime. And the thing I like about him is that most sports anime main characters are usually kind of like underdogs, and they're not like, they don't exude a lot of confidence in themselves like right off the bat.
Yeah.
Because they're never like the best player on their team until maybe later, right? And so I liked how like Prince of Tennis is literally called the Prince of Tennis, so you can kind of guess like Ryoma's really good at it. And
wait,
like,
so he starts off like really like already like, cocky and like,
yeah, he's like
I got this.
He's like a childhood prodigy.
Oh, that's cool.
Because his dad was a famous tennis player, and so like it's really fun like seeing him like, because he's only like, so the dumb thing about Prince of Tennis is that it's set in a middle school. That like if you look at the characters, they do not look like middle schoolers. So like he's in theory like in like 6th or 7th. He's like in theory in 7th grade in Japan, and so he's like a 12-year-old, and then you see like these 14, 15-year-olds be like, oh, look at me, I'm all tall and I'm gonna beat you up. And then like Ryoma like destroys them, and it's like it's so fulfilling like watching these arrogant characters just get pwned by Ryoma.
That is a refreshing watch.
And it was really cool to see him like having the main sports anime character be really good, and then just go from there. It was really fun to watch, and it's probably one of my favorite shows I've watched, is because it's just seeing Ryoma just beat people all the time is just so fulfilling. And it's one of the reasons why it's like my favorite sports anime. Like, because Haikyuu and like Diamond Invasion are like two of my other ones I would maybe have on my top 5, top 10 list. And Haikyuu probably would make it. Like I think if Haikyuu like gets all of it animated, it might be in my top 5 list. But since it isn't that yet, but I really enjoyed Pretenders because it does conclude and the ending is really fun. And it's just fun like seeing just how wacky the show itself gets because like some of these guys' powers is like pretty stupid. Like one of them, if you play against him, you get yips, which is a sports disease where you can't do anything until like when he faces a character, that character he faces will lose like their senses when they play him. So like you become blind and deaf, and it's like, wait,
oh my
what?
god,
Like,
this is ridiculous.
How is this happening?
All right, yeah, because that can totally happen in tennis in real life.
Yeah, you can just make people go blind. It makes sense. So,
it's temporary, right?
Well, yeah.
Just during that time, they're like, all right, you're gonna be blind for a little bit.
Yeah. So some of the powers themselves are pretty dumb. Like, yeah, it's still just a fun sport to watch. And it's not. I don't know. If you kind of like that thing where you like seeing area characters just get destroyed by a really fun main character, then I would recommend Pretenders Tennis. But I do think there are better sports animes that are more serious, and this I think could be like Pretenders Tennis you can just laugh at because like what I just said is stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you want something a bit more serious, I wouldn't really.
Does it take itself seriously? Like, are you saying
it's like Kuroko.
Okay.
Where it's like it's kind of normal in this world. These kids are doing it.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's my number 2.
All right, that sounds good. I can't really say anything about it,
yeah,
except that I do want to watch it, but you know.
And you see about all these shows, but you know, do you?
I do definitely.
All right.
It's just I can only watch so much at a time.
Yeah.
You know.
You can't be like me, 500 anime.
That's just insane. Listen, no, I can't do that. That's why I'm really picky about what I choose to watch. Like, super picky. Because I'm like, I can't watch everything, so.
That's debatable.
I'm not going to waste time on something that I don't like.
Okay.
But I like sports a lot, and the way you describe it sounds really decent. It's like I've heard enough about it to where it's convinced me, where I feel like I have to watch it at least once.
You're right.
So that time will come eventually. And I'll go on to my number 1, which is also a sports anime.
What?
Yep. And technically my only shonen title on my top 5. Because it's technically shonen. Just not like typical battle shonen. But it is Haikyuu.
What?
I
said Haikyuu.
Haikyuu, the show that you just mentioned.
Is that a coincidence?
I don't know. So, I mean, everybody who's seen it could agree that it's very good. It's just very well done for sports anime, even though I've only seen just a handful of sports anime. But in general, it's just one of the best anime I've ever seen.
Wow.
I caught it like from the day it aired totally by chance. Like, I just was like, you know what? I see this anime is airing. This looks interesting. Episode 1, here we go. Oh, I kind of like this. Let's keep following it. It's like I wasn't disappointed. It just continuously entertained me. It was a good. It was definitely one of the shows where I loved coming home from school to like chill and watch this.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's about volleyball.
What?
And
volleyball in Japan?
Yeah. Apparently that's really popular in Japan. Or kind of popular.
Yeah, that's it.
Not like super, super popular, but people know volleyball pretty well. And so you got Hinata. He's a really great character. I really like Hinata. He's kind of, he's not like the worst off main character. Like, you know, most shonen main characters start off at a pretty low level.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he's like that low level, and he's very determined and doesn't really see himself as that weak a guy. He does see like obstacles, but he's confident that he can take on these obstacles.
Yeah, he's never like down in the dumps.
Yeah, he's never depressed about himself, like never negative about anything. He's always like positive and looking forward. But yeah, and then he meets this other dude who's a complete asshole who like he's insanely gifted, but he has attitude problems.
Kageyama isn't that bad.
I mean, no, I mean, at first he's terrible, but only for like an episode.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
He's only really, really bad for like an episode, but then it's like they're human.
Yeah. Especially because like Kageyama, he comes from like a backstory of always being like the best.
Yeah, it's like I can't. When you make characters really human, it's like it's hard to purely hate them.
Yeah.
So that's what's really good about it is how human these characters are. Mm-hmm. They all have their strengths and their weaknesses, and so they like Hinata faced him in like middle school before like his last game in middle school, which like he worked so hard to get this volleyball team together. And he was so determined, to
go far.
But they sucked.
Yeah.
They sucked really bad.
Hinata was the only good player.
It didn't stop him, he still kept going, Kageyama is too gifted, but, his team didn't like him. But anyways, they end up being on the same team in high school because, the prestigious schools were like, we don't want you. You have attitude problems. Yeah, for Kageyama, they're like, no, we don't want you. You gotta fix that.
Damn, get out.
So they go to Krasno, and in Haikyuu, or Hinata, he's just didn't appear that good. Like, he's okay, but not.
Yeah, because he's like.
He wanted to go to Krasno because of the Little Giant.
Yeah.
His idol.
Yeah, because he's also a really small kid.
So yeah, that's his only that's his biggest
flaw.
I don't want to call it a flaw, but it's an obstacle.
It's a disadvantage.
Yeah, it's a disadvantage, but also negative. Jeez. It's his adversity. He has to overcome being small, but he makes up for it
by jumping really far.
So, as the show goes on, you meet all these really interesting characters and
rivals.
Yeah, it's just really interesting seeing them develop their talents.
Yeah. I do think one thing I liked about the show was the fact that like it felt very realistic, like how these guys got better. I didn't really feel like it was like they're instantly better.
But yeah, it wasn't like magical powers. No, you saw them actually work hard to get there.
Yeah, and it also just felt like the highs in the show are very high.
Yeah. And
like there are some lows, but like the lows aren't even that bad because they're gonna rebound. Like,
but it's definitely like, you mean low as in like a negative, like a downtime for them, like where they had a hard time, right? Yeah. Even that made me feel like it's like I feel bad for them whenever that happened. But yeah, that's the thing. It's so realistic, but they made it so entertaining.
Yeah, like the training arcs didn't feel boring.
It's like watching the matches way more interesting than watching it in real life. Like, despite how realistic it is. Like,
is it time for us to go to volleyball matches, Mia?
Huh?
Should we do a real volleyball match?
I've seen clips of it.
Nah.
No, I don't want to.
That's a no from you?
No. But, it's just good. I kind of like where it's at right now. It's not done yet, but where it's at right now.
Where art thou?
Where art thou? Well, you said it's probably coming, right? I hope so.
I pray to
It's
God.
A pretty good theory that, it's probably going to...
because pretty much they did an anime recap movie for the third season.
That's a pretty good sign.
So, in theory, you'd think that they're going to try to remind all the Japanese audience, like, hey, remember the third season? Now look, a fourth season.
Cool. Yeah.
I'm going to, shit a tear when that happens.
Probably me too.
I'll be like, we did 30 years for this.
And I'll say that my favorite character is Nishinoya because he's so cool.
Okay, bud.
I love him. He's spunky. It's him, and I also like Asahi because he's just such a good guy.
You like Asahi? Okay.
He's such a good guy. Yeah, he's. I don't know. I'm not gonna say too much more because you don't meet him until later, and I want people to watch it and be like, ooh, look at this dude.
Yeah.
You meet all their specialties. You meet all the people and learn about their special talents and stuff.
You're right.
And it's really focused on teamwork. They all have to learn to work together, overcome obstacles together. It's so great.
Become a team.
That teamwork is just so great.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else to say about it?
I really like it. I already talked about how it's one of my favorite shows ever.
Yeah. Oh, and I don't know if it's still like top selling, but I saw a statistic from like a week or two ago, and it was like number 1 in Shonen Jump for that week, and I was like, yes. Okay, yeah. Too many people sleep on Haikyuu, and I'm like, come on, guys, get on this.
Yeah.
Get on this, you guys. It's great.
All right.
So many people are like not like. You're not into anime deep enough if you don't watch sports. There's like so many people that are like, I don't want to watch sports.
Yeah, I do think it is weird because like obviously I like sports in real life, so I like sports anime generally, but I know like you're not.
No, like in real life, not really. And I definitely was kind of like, it wasn't something I thought about.
Yeah.
Until a few years ago.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense. So my number
now
one.
I love it.
My number 1 is One Piece.
One Piece.
Okay. So One Piece is about a boy named Luffy.
Luffy, you never heard that name before.
Who wants to become the Pirate King.
I love Luffy.
And the basic premise of it is that the king of the pirates before was named Goldie Roger, and he left all of his treasure in one piece. And it pretty much sets up this second pirate age where pirates are all around looking for where One Piece is. And the show basically follows Luffy's goal to find One Piece.
Epic adventure.
And it's so wonderful and amazing and great because it's just... One Piece to me is like the best shonen because it has the best character development. Like, I'm crying over a boat. I'm like, why am I crying over a boat? And then I watched the Bleach, and I'm like, I wouldn't cry over any of you characters, but I'm crying over a boat in One Piece. Like, what's up with that? So, yeah. I really enjoy just how much each character gets character development and how you really feel for them. Like, each of the Straw Hats get, like, their own sad backstory. And it's just, like, it's such a cool adventure to go on, too, because it's pirate-themed, and it's like, how do you not like pirates? And then just... seeing them go to each island and
pirates,
explore,
yes.
And all the devil fruit powers are really cool. It's just like the right amount of everything that makes, I think, something I enjoy perfect. Like, I love the adventure aspect of it because you're literally sailing around the world. You have great characters. You have really cool fights, and the soundtrack is great. It's just like the only complaint about One Piece now is like some of the newer episodes have slow pacing. The animation isn't that great, but like. Generally, this all of One Piece I think is really amazing, and you can really tell Oda like plans everything out. Like he'll reference something in like chapter 400, let's say, and then like you'll see it happen in chapter 800.
So you think he like really planned a lot,
Yes.
or is he just like so good?
I think he plans
that he's able to like tie stuff in.
If he like does something in chapter 400 and then you see in chapter 800, like I think he plans this stuff out.
Okay, I don't know. It's like he just might be like really good at
just knowing the stuff he put down.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, but I still think he knows.
It's probably a mix of both.
I feel like for One Piece, you almost have to know where you're going to go with it.
Okay, yeah.
Because it's not like Naruto, where Naruto's path is weird, and like, his end goal is, like, I want to get Sasuke back. Well,
yeah.
I guess his end goal is to become Hokage, really.
And there was, like, a lot of influence with that, too, from, like, outside influence. And stuff.
And, like...
They're like, no, we want it to go this way.
Yeah, and, like, Hunter x Hunter, it's like, I want to find my dad. And then he tries to find his dad. And... his goal is just to find One Piece, and so like he has to think like how.
Yeah, it's just really impressive to think that he can do that.
Oda
you know,
is a genius.
It's really, yeah, he sounds like a genius. I don't know the story like that. But.
Yeah, and it's excellent. There's nothing else I can really say about it. I know it is intimidating to watch it because it is like 800 episodes.
Yeah,
but like
I'm on like episode like 50.
Yeah, like once you just get started with it and you get rolling with it, it just doesn't stop. Because you're like, wow, this show's pretty decent. And then you're like, wow, this show's good. And then you're like, wow, this show's amazing. Like, wow, I'm crying over a boat. Like, this is like how the progression goes. So, I love One Piece a lot. I don't think anything will ever top One Piece for me personally. I just think it's impossible. Once One Piece 2 happens.
One Piece 2 happens.
And Prince of Tennis, like I said, will also always be in my like those will always be like my 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So just to kind of give you a recap of our list, we'll start with Mia.
A recap?
Yeah.
All right. So number 5, Bakuman. That just sounds so much better to start from 5 and go to 1.
Yeah.
Number 5 is Bakuman. Number 4 is Kids on the Slope. Number 3 is You and Me. And number 2 is Showa Genroku Rakugo Shinju. And it took me some practice to get that down. Okay,
I imagine.
I said it so many times, I got used to it.
Are not in Japanese.
And then that's just the only one I won't translate. Like, and number 1 is Haikyuu.
For my list, number 5 was Fate Zero. Number 4 was Hunter x Hunter, the 2011 version. Number 3 was FMA Brotherhood. Number 2 was Friends of Tennis. Number 1 was One Piece.
This is awesome. I'll tell you though, like, I want to explain the Showa Genroku Rakugo Shinji title a little bit. Like, Showa and Genroku are time periods. That's why they can't be translated. Rakugo is the name of the entertainment, the thing that they do. That can't be translated. And in Shinju, that can be kind of translated. It means literally lovers double suicide. There you go.
Which makes sense if you think about the show.
It makes sense, but we're not going to tell them that. Not going to tell people that. Yeah, so crazy title. Mm-hmm. That can't be translated.
And now to conclude the podcast, we'll go over our fall list.
Yay!
So I think we'll probably just do we'll do a quick one by one. So you can just
is yours in alphabetical order?
Yes.
So go by your list because mine's not in alphabetical order.
And we'll give like quickie reasons why we're watching this.
And if I had, I'll just talk about it too at the same time if I watched it.
My first one. So this is kind of a heads up. I haven't been into watching seasonal shows in like the past 2 seasons because I've been watching seasonal shows consistently for the past 6 years.
Insane.
And I've always been watching at least 10 to like, I was like 10 for like maybe like the first couple, like the first 2 seasons I watched anime. And then like really I've been watching consistently at least like 15 to 18 shows every season since 2012. So I've been watching a lot of anime.
Insane. That's a lot.
And I basically just became tired of it. And
it took you that long to burn out.
Yeah.
That is insane.
Well, I started experiencing it a lot last year, and I would just still like kind of catch up with it. And then this year I was like, you know what? I'm just going to watch One Piece again.
Finally took a break.
Yeah. So.
Dedication.
I decided to kind of live with myself. I'm only watching 11 shows, which is not.
Oh my gosh.
Well, some of them are like, okay. Like 1, 2, 3 of them are like second seasons or like the 5th part of something.
Okay.
So if I didn't want to watch those, it'd be 8. But so this is my first time getting back into the fall seasonal shows, and
just only 8 shows,
Actually 11 if you count them.
Freaking a lot to me.
I'm Mia. Anyway,
let's go first one.
So the first one I got is like Ace Attorney season 2. Now I know I'm very much in the minority of this, where I actually like I like the first Ace Attorney anime. I didn't hate it. I actually kind of liked it.
Just play the games.
I have played the games. I prefer the games as well.
I'm telling the audience.
Yes. The games were definitely better, but like I didn't hate the anime.
Or if you're not a game player, it is a good watch because you still get it.
Yeah.
And if you didn't play it, you'll probably like it.
Yeah. And I'm really excited for the second season because the third game is my favorite game because Godot was really cool, and so I'm really excited to see how he's going to be animated. And I'm curious because like the first season was two cores, which core just means like 12 episodes. So the first part was the first game, and the second part was the second game. So I'm guessing there's only be 12 episodes of the third game. Next up is Double Decker, a show by Sunrise. I haven't watched a mecha show in a while, and this is definitely a mecha show. Whenever I was reading the description of it, it sounded very much like a typical, there's the empire, and there's countries that are feuding with each other, and now we got mechas.
So
Nope, I'm done. This is not that show. I forgot what this show was about. I remember now.
Wait, what?
This is the reason I was interested in this show.
Wait.
So disregard I just stereotyped. I just completely stereotyped a Sunrise mecha show. Because I know this is a Sunrise mecha show, but it's a little bit different. So Sunrise has done Tiger and Buddy, which is it is a mecha show, but it is also like a superhero show as well. And Double Decker is kind of like a sequel to it, where I think it's set in the same universe, and they use like similar mechs, and it's about like crime and corruption in the city, and like how these guys tried to like get rid of it. So that's why I'm actually excited for this show. So
expectations pretty high?
No, because it's not Tiger and Buddy season 2. If it was Tiger and Buddy season 2, I would be whoo.
Okay, but you pretty much you do expect it to be good though. Like, what's your expectation on it? How good do you think you'll be?
I'd be cautiously optimistic.
Okay.
Because I love Tiger
That's fair.
and Buddy.
That's
and
fair.
I don't know if this show can be as good as Tiger and Buddy can, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Next show is in Japanese. Gaikatsu Shotonen Honda-san. The reason I was kind of interested in this show is because one of my favorite anime genres is like the funny workplace show. So like Blend S, Working, stuff like that. I've always enjoyed like comedy workplace animes for some reason. I think they're generally pretty funny. And this show is a comedy workplace anime with a little twist. Because the main character is a skeleton man that owns a manga shop, I believe. And it just sounds like hilarious going to stew from there.
It does sound very unique. Kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's a skeleton man. That
I might give it a shot. Maybe
yeah,
like try one episode.
Yeah, I'll let you know if it's funny or not.
Yeah. Funny is... It's hard to hit my humor bone. Like, you know.
Yeah, we need something with Megane. We need Megane punch right now. That's what she finds
What
fun.
was it? Kaga Megane.
Yeah.
It's too good.
Next up is I think probably one of the most hyped, probably the second most hyped show or third most hyped show this season, Goblin Slayer by White Fox.
Also on my watch list because
like,
of what I heard about it.
Yeah, like the basic plot of it is like the Goblin Slayer is like this famous character in this fantasy world where like in this world you hunters can like hunt down various monsters to get points and gold, but this guy only hunts goblins. And it's kind of like his story is that the reason he only hunts goblins, even though they're like low level monsters and only give him like so much money, but he's super high low because he only kills them, is because his like I believe his family like got slayed by goblins, and so he has like this personal vendetta against them, and it kind of makes him in this weird state where like he only knows to kill goblins and get money and stuff, and then he slowly meets like these new companions of his that like try to humanize him. So,
yeah, and I also heard that I don't know, like I heard that it's like super violent.
Mm-hmm.
And like much more violent than it looks, but I don't know. Yeah, we'll see.
What are your expectations, Mia?
It's like I just don't know. I'm just going to try it. Like I have no idea how this is going to go because I'm typically not into this type. I'm not big on the fantasy type of shows.
Yeah, because you're just unimaginative.
No, it's like I hate the video game isekai type of stuff. I really don't like it at all. It doesn't entertain me.
I like some isekai.
Like Sword Art Online bored me to death.
Yeah.
You know, it's just not my thing.
Did you ever watch ReZero?
No,
I think you'd like that.
Because there's like, I had a time period, it was like a good year and a half where I didn't watch anything.
Oh.
And that was one of the shows that I missed that I want to go back to.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm still like, I'll give this stuff a try, but it's like, I don't expect to like these kind of fantasy shows.
Alright. So, I know the next show is also on Mia's list, so I'll have Mia say the show.
This one, which one is this? I don't remember what it's called, or what it's about.
Let's say the title.
Irozuku Sekai no Ashitara.
Yeah, this is by PA Works, which is my favorite animation studio.
Yeah, I put it on here. Yeah, I put it on here because it's PA Works.
Yeah.
They have a lot of good titles under their belt.
Yeah.
So.
And this show kind of sounded interesting, where it's about like this magical society where like witches exist, and the main hero character, she like loses her sense of color, and then like I believe she goes like back in time to where her grandmother was and like learn stuff. I vaguely recall what the summary is.
The summary sounds way better.
Yeah,
it actually sounds legit.
Yeah, just look up the summary. And I thought it sounded really interesting and cool.
It does.
And PA Works generally always has really good looking shows. They are a little hit or miss.
Yeah, because I want to say like, oh, this seems really good, but I'm also like cautious because of Charlotte.
Yeah,
that's what they also made.
Yeah,
and I feel like that animation wasn't like amazing though.
I thought it was so decent.
It was like on a decent side, but
yeah, the Charlotte just isn't good.
It didn't leave an impression on me. Like, ooh, look at this animation.
Yeah, PA Works has been kind of on like a weird role where they had like a role where they went like from like Glass Up, which is horrible, to I think like Charlotte, which is also not good, and this other show called like Koromo Koro, which is like the Black Corpse or Black Swordsman, which was interesting what they did with that show, but it was not the best. And so then they did Sakura Quest, which is kind of like, I know some people liked it, some people found it boring. I enjoyed some of it. I haven't finished it. So they've been kind of on this weird role.
Did you mention Lola Nusi? Did you say that?
Oh, no.
Okay, yeah. That I watched that.
They had like a high point.
that was really good.
Yeah.
And I watched that this year.
Yeah. Nagino Asukara is a Japanese title.
No, I watched it last year.
And I watched that when it was airing, and it's incredible.
Yeah, it was really good. Except I hated that one girl. But okay, go ahead.
There's Hanasako no Iroha.
Hanasaka Iroha.
Yeah, that show is really
good.
good.
Iroha. Why do I always say Iroha? Okay, go ahead.
And Shirobako. So they've had some really great shows. We've also had some not good shows. So I think this show sounds really interesting. I don't know how you could really mess it up, but we'll see.
It's possible. If it's like a Charlotte, I hope not.
So the next one is by far probably the most hyped show this season. Definitely for me, which is JoJo's Part 5.
Lot of talk around that.
I'm so excited.
So many people are happy about that. Yeah.
I've been waiting 2 years for this. It's really funny because like when I finished, I've been a JoJo's fan since it aired in 2012, and Part 4 is like my favorite. And so whenever Part 4 was over, I was really curious, like many people were, like when Part 5 was going to happen.
Yeah.
And I kind of broke down last year, or like the beginning of this year, where I actually ended up reading all the parts. So I've read Part 5, 6, and 7. So I actually know what's going to happen in Part 5. And Part 5 is my second favorite part, or my second or third. So I'm really hyped for this because Part 5 is so good.
Yeah. So yeah, I really like how things like this really bring people together. Like I love that feeling of this cohesive hype.
Yeah.
It feels so good.
Because I think
you and like all these other people, you're just so excited for this one thing.
Yeah.
And I really like, I'm not even, it's like I feel that hype from all these people that are so happy and excited for it.
It makes sense because it's like I said, we waited 2 years for this, man.
Yeah.
I'm so happy this is happening.
Yeah, even my little brother, he's like so ready. He's like, he loves JoJo.
I'm just curious to see if it's going to be one season or they're going to do 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Next.
Part 5 is going to be excellent. Watch it. Watch it when you watch LA JoJo. Don't just watch Part 5. I mean, you could, but it'd be kind of dumb. Next up.
Well, I mean, alright.
Yes, it'd be kind of dumb, yeah.
Whatever.
No, don't say whatever. It'd be kind of dumb.
Screw rules, man.
No.
Do what you want.
You have to watch. Don't be a part skipper.
Whatever.
So the next one was is something that I kind of debated if I actually wanted to watch it or not because it sounded kind of interesting, and I decided to ultimately watch it because it's one made by Production IG, which is another one of my favorite animation studios, and it's also just a show.
The jogging
sports.
Show.
Yeah. So
okay.
Kaze ga Suyoku.
Wait, is this specifically jogging or running?
It's like running. It's like track.
Track. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I wrote jogging. I was like, wait.
So Kaze means wind. I think it's like I'll just say run like the wind, but it's definitely not run like the wind. It's something with the wind.
Okay.
And I don't have much to say about beyond is I decided to watch it because it's about sports.
And it's sports. That's all we really need.
Yeah, pretty much. So
that's what it's.
You have anything to say about that? You have that on your list, right?
No, because I do have it on my list. Yeah, because it's literally those are the 2 reasons why I put it on here. Because it's sport and it's IG.
Yeah.
So I'm really, really down for sports, and the fact that it is IG, it just makes it all that much better.
Mm. Next up, this show sounded really funny to me. It's called Sora to Umi to Ida. Umi means sea or ocean, and the show is about these 6 girls that go in like space to go fishing. So inherently, it just sounds really wacky.
Yeah,
if people are going to space to fish to become space fishermen. So I'm inherently interested in that because that just sounds so wacky and zany that I kind of just have to watch it to see if I'm gonna like it or not. But it's definitely something I'm pretty excited for. What are you doing, man?
I was looking it up. What is it? Who made it?
I don't know. Some dumb company.
Yeah, see, that makes it. If it's by like a nobody company.
Umi. Oh,
Umi.
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 That one.
All right.
Let's see who's made by, folks.
TMS Entertainment. What is that?
I mean, I know them for some stuff. They're.
Oh, really?
Okay. They did Orange.
Oh. Okay.
Real Life is good.
I don't know. Orange. Ugh, that animation made me mad.
These 2 shows people I know like Real Life and D Gray Man.
I love Kami-sama Honey Mimicast.
All
right.
Decent.
Oh, okay. They got Megalobox.
Oh, they did this show. I love Takagi-san.
They're good.
They're good.
They're good.
Oh, they did
look all they got. They got a lot.
Yeah, they're a pretty solid animation studio, I'd say. That show's not good.
I don't like the Trickster.
Anyway, moving on. I have a pretty basic one on my list. It's probably like it's definitely a hyped up show this season. It's SAO Alkalization. The interesting thing about this show is it just got announced that it's going to be 52 episodes. So we're gonna have an entire year of SAO, which will be really interesting to see.
No.
If you want to know like my general thoughts about Sword Art Online,
Because I didn't like it. I just don't like hearing about it.
my opinion of it is, I think it's perfectly okay. I don't hate it. I don't really like it that much.
Yeah.
I enjoy it enough where I like to watch it at least, because I do think some of it's interesting.
Yeah.
And I feel since I've gone this long, I might as well watch it, because I do think Gun Gale was generally pretty solid, and the ending arc of Gun Gale is really good. So I'm curious to see how this arc is. I know most fans consider like the best arc of the light novel, just because it deals with like AI and their kind of struggles. So it does sound like it should be pretty decent, but we'll see how it goes. It is Sword Art Online after all.
Yeah.
Next up, I'll let Mia talk about.
Woohoo! Tsurune. I don't have the whole title. Tsurune Kazunai. Does that say Coco?
I think so.
Kazunai. I can't read your handwriting. Oof.
Yeah, that's definitely Coco and then Kyoto.
All right.
Ooh.
I just call it Tsurune because
As
it's like
should.
Tsurune colon all these other Japanese
yeah,
words.
yeah.
So, yeah, this is by Kyoto Animation. First of all, how can you not want to watch something by Kyoto Animation?
Well, I can see why you wouldn't watch stuff.
Why?
Because people don't want to watch band.
They don't want to watch what?
Like, Kyoto Animation is a very... Some of their shows aren't inherently interesting. Like,
No, I feel you. Okay.
like would a regular person
But it's
want to
so
watch?
pretty.
Yeah, but it's like, if you're a little action, would you want to watch Sound Euphonium?
Oh yeah, no,
you
yeah,
wouldn't.
that's true.
Like, me and you are unique because we like slice of life stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, if you really appreciate it, anime as an art, though, like.
If you're a big brain anime fan.
No, I mean like not even. I'm not trying to say if you just love the art, like. One of the reasons that I like anime is because it looks pretty.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the reasons why we pick it up as a kid.
Kyoto Animation's obviously the best animation studio. If anyone tells you otherwise, it's still not much.
Are you sure?
Violet Evergarden?
Yeah. You're right. They took it with that. Okay.
What are you
But it's
talking-
just like there's like Bones and Madhouse.
But nothing like.
but
No.
but you're right. They don't top Violet Evergarden. Like,
Yeah, let me know when Violet Evergarden becomes something that someone else knows.
they like raised the bar with that one.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's about archery. That's all I really know about it.
yeah, that's all I know too.
'Cause, like,
That's all I need to know.
I think me and me are like Kyoto Animation's like biggest fanboy and girl. 'Cause,
Probably.
like I've almost watched everything that they made. I'm only missing like 2 or 3 shows. So like I'm on a quest where I'm watching everything they're gonna put out.
Yeah.
So
I'm even especially go sorry.
Oh, I was saying it's not gonna stop with this show. So I'm just gonna continue watching it.
Right. And it's like I was a big fan of Free. So
You
but I
was?
don't think this will be like Free. Like Free is very slice of life.
And gang.
It's very fan servicey. Of course, definitely shook the female anime world,
Yeah.
So, but I like what I see here. I don't think it'll be that direction at all. It'll just be a regular like sports, but like KyoAni style, of like anime. Like they typically are more on the mundane side, and so that's what it looks like it'll be.
Yeah.
But with archery, and I think it'll have a lot of heart in it. They put a lot of heart into their stuff.
Yeah. I think like the only show that I think was bad that I seen, well, maybe not even bad, like that Phantom Myriad Colors show?
I haven't seen all of Kyoto Animation.
It was like the one like it's one of the more fan service shows, and it
like for the girls or the guys?
for boys.
For
Because like
boys.
the main girl character
Okay.
has like huge boobs,
Okay.
and it's like it was kind of weird. Like the show was very pretty, but it's also just like I'll show you a scene later after this.
Yeah, and they
you'll be
can.
like, oh.
They really try to depend on their pretty style sometimes.
Yeah, but I think the show, like I said, like that show's like the worst Kyoto any show I've seen in a while, and that's like a 6. So it's like really their bad shows aren't gonna be that bad.
Okay.
And then the last show I have on my list, I'm only watching because it's a Yuri show.
Right.
It's called Yagate Kami ni Nara, and it actually looks like a pretty quality Yuri show. I've seen Citrus. That's been like my other experience with like a Yuri kind of show, and Citrus is weird. I don't really dislike it, but I didn't like hate it that much. I don't know. It's a weird
Yeah.
Yuri show.
I think it's something like if I really liked, like genuinely was like into Yuri, I'd probably like really like it. But like I'm not. So it's like I'm looking at kind of like just the plot
Yeah.
and stuff, and it's like it went in a different direction than I thought it was. Like, I thought it would go into more social commentary a little bit, but it didn't.
Yeah,
At least what I saw. Like,
because-
I saw like the first 3-ish episodes, and it's like the first episode kind of like, it seemed like it would go somewhere. Like, because that girl was all like very into fashion and breaking rules and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just, I thought it would do something more, but
That's something that they really aren't that. I mean, like, it is kind of ironic that like Japanese people love like Yuri and Yaoi shows, but like when you see them in like anime, they're never in like a realistic light.
never. No, they're not.
And it's kind of fascinating because it's like
That's kind of a gripe I have. That's why I'm like, I don't have
Yeah.
high expectations for most of them.
yeah, I think that's why this show probably won't be, or like if they treat if it's kind of more realistic, let's say it's kind of like anime realistic. you
Yeah,
know?
it looks like it might be promising.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give it a
Might
roll
get a
because
solid relationship for once.
yeah, I like Yuri enough. I actually don't care for much Yuri shows. I've
Oh,
only
yeah.
seen Citrus, but I don't. I like. I'm just curious to see how it goes.
Yeah, like yeah. As far as like the the plots go, it's like the only like I guess yaoi, like I'm more into that, and it's like I only really like this one movie called Classmates and it's not even like that graphic or anything or anything.
Classmates.
It's called Classmates or
Are
Dokyusei.
we classmates?
It just has the most real relationship I've ever seen, like in anime.
Oh, okay.
It was just such a like nice story, and it was so real and positive.
Yeah, that's good.
So, anyway,
That's my list.
yeah, and then there's one more I want to talk about called Radiant, which I recently added.
Don't you have two more to talk about?
No,
What about your?
do I? Oh yeah, I don't really want to talk about it.
Talk about it.
It's I'm picking it up on a whim. It's called Dakuretai Otoko Ini Odo Sarete. I don't know what that last word is.
It's not
Sorry, butchered it, but it is just it's just a shonen ai. I don't have very high expectations for it or anything. I'm just kind of checking it out for fun, and I'm like, maybe this will be something entertaining. I don't think it'll be like good, but it's like there's a chance it could entertain me, basically. So I'm trying it for that. And then I want to talk about Radiant, which is based off of, is an adaptation from a French manga. And I don't know, it just really, it looks really interesting, and there are actually a lot of mangaka who read it. I don't remember who was. I don't remember if it was like one of the big three. I feel like were into it, or was it the fairy tale artist? I can't remember, but some Japanese mangaka like it and have made fan art for it.
Oh.
So it's like it's just making me really interested in it. And it's just now getting like an English release of the first volume of it. And I think it's really cool that Japan is adapting a manga that's made somewhere else.
Yeah.
So it looks like it might be like a shonen type of thing. So
Yeah, it's
I
about,
think
like-
it'll be cool.
Yeah, I think this show is like another
Adventurous.
show. Yeah, I think I was gonna choose it because I was only trying to do 10, so I was like deciding between this show and I think their jogging show.
What? Just watch both, man. Just do it.
Wow, man!
Come on.
You're like,
You already got that many. Come on, man.
Shut up.
Or you could take off Ace Attorney.
Wow.
You really have to watch that.
Godot, he's gonna be animated.
Come on.
You know Godot's the best
Come
character.
on. Or watch like one episode of that and be like, all right,
Yeah.
solid animated, and then let's drop it down. You
I
just
wanna
don't
see
need to.
Godot.
You just don't need to see it. I'm telling you, man.
So, is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
I put, yeah, boy. Fall of 2018.
So that's our fall list. Probably since fall doesn't start until like October, we can't really talk about these shows until like next month.
Yeah.
So we'll probably might start doing like more like specialized episodes where we'll bring on like guests to talk about like maybe a Naruto only episode.
Is there anything that you can think of that's continuing into fall that was this season? I know there's one. I'm watching Banana Fish, and I know that's going to go into fall.
Oh.
Which, by the way, is Very, very good.
Attack on Titan season 3.
Oh yeah, that too. That is going there.
God, Attack on Titan season 3.
But I'm not watching it.
So good.
I'm waiting for it to be over, and it's a painful wait. But okay. All right, let's wrap it up.
Go ahead.
All right, so that will redo. So this was our first episode. You heard us talk about our top 5 favorite anime. Hopefully you got it kind of an insight of what kind of things we like. And we talked about what we'll be watching this fall.
Yeah, and next episode, we don't know exactly what we're going to do yet. We'll probably do like a special episode about some anime. We're not sure yet. And we'll also have some guest people that go to our school.
Yeah, just people we know in general that like anime and would like to talk about it with us.
Apparently there are more anime fans out there than you would think.
Oh yeah, they're everywhere.
Yes, and I guess if you want to like look at our like anime list or anything, like on my anime list, I'm Go10 SB2 all lowercase. So if you want to see all 530 anime I've watched, go there. All
right, and then you can look at my less intimidating list. It's only about like 100-ish, 130-ish. It's Miyakiato. That's Miachiato. Like macchiato, but my name is in it. Miyakiato.
Look at you being original.
Yes.
Yes.
So, you want to check that out. Go ahead. Don't take my scores too seriously.
No, take them very seriously.
Do not take them seriously. I'm like, if I like this, I'm like 10.
Oh yes, don't take them seriously. Take my scores seriously.
Take his seriously, but I don't score them that seriously. I kind of just have my anime list, mostly so I can just keep track of what I watch. Because it's like that stuff changes the more anime you watch anyway. So I was like, this is too much to keep track of. If it's above a 7, or if it's a 7 or above, it's like I like it. If it's below, if it's below 7, it's like
maybe don't watch it.
It's like don't.
Unless you think the title's interesting.
Yeah, 7 is like I would probably recommend this to other people.
Yep. So that'll do it for us.
All right. Bye. So see you guys. I'm Mia.
I'm Milesh.
Bye bye.
Ciao.